Hello, this is Mr. Jarrett, and in this video I am going to be taking you through the concept sketching presentation. So, concept sketch is a quick and informal way of communicating and labeling a designer's idea through 2D application. So basically, you can see here that there is a Sharpie marker and there's a sketch of a Sharpie marker. Okay, a concept is an idea. So you are sketching your idea. Okay, so it's a quick and informal way of doing it. So in class, I actually have students hold a normal pencil. I tell them not to use a lead pencil because you can't really change the detail to shading grip. So I just kind of say, hey, by holding a pencil like this, you can easily use the detail of the sharpened point, and if you turn it sideways, you can actually shade a lot better with that pencil. Okay, so I pass out this concept sketch paper. So this is just a piece of paper that I made. It has a big blank area, has a spot down at the bottom for you to put your name and such, and the concept title, maybe a date, and a basic description over here on the right side. Then we do some practice sketches, and I tell them when we're doing these sketches that you want to focus on shape, proportion, and detail. Okay, so you do the best that you possibly can. And of course, all the students are going to flip out when I do this. So I do it just kind of for kicks and giggles and to say, hey, just try to focus and do the best that you can. And some of the kids just are quiet and do it. Other students obviously are going to start to complain. And then once they get to this part, everybody kind of laughs and they say, "All right, I get it. This is kind of over the top. This is very tough to try to just sketch out because this is solid black. You got all these small letters in here. Um, so it's just a quick and informal way of doing it. It's to show them that no, I don't expect this to be a perfect drawing. Okay, it's a very simple drawing. So when you're doing this, if you need help, basically sketch an outline of something and try your best to shade it in. So then the second one we do is a stapler. It's another object that, is just laying around the room. But kind of tell them the same thing. And this time I say, here is the physical stapler that I have. If you want to look at it in person, I'll pass it around. You can look at this picture if you'd like. You can find another picture if you'd like. I just want you to try something that has an angle to it now. Because this one did not, since it was flat, this one, I wanted them to look at something that has a little bit of a 3D effect to it, just to try to show students that you can actually show a 3D effect. A lot of students will just draw all flat things all the time. You can easily draw a 3D effect object. Okay, you just simply tilt that object slightly. And you can see here's the top of it, here's the side of it, here's another side of it, and now it's 3D. Okay, so I showed them, if you want to just do an outline of one and then try to shade it in the best you can, even though you're doing an outline, still try to put it on like a 3D angle. Okay, and I explained at the very end, obviously this would be a beginner stage. You see all the shading is on the outside. You have very rough edges. But what they did do in this picture, and this is just taken straight off of Google, the person who drew this or colored it, you can actually see that they tried to add a shading effect. So there's almost like a light streak through here of where the physical light in the room might be reflecting off of this object. So I kind of tell them that you should be better than this. No way do I expect you to be this good. Also, if you're spending this much time on it, you're not really getting the concept. Okay, this is an artistic drawing. A concept sketch falls in between here and closer to this side than this side. Okay. And then anytime that we have left, or sometimes for homework, I kind of just encourage students to do a small little activity. And in this activity, I say, to find a simple product that you want to innovate. Okay, innovate meaning to improve or to change something that already exists. This isn't an invention. This is an improvement of an already existing object. So I just want them to concept sketch their innovation and write a brief description of the innovation on the side of the piece of paper. And then we simply share that in class. So again, I want them to pay attention to the shape of it. Are you doing 2D or you're trying to draw it in 3D, the proportion, the detail, and the shading. Okay, and here's two examples of former students. So the goal of this, once again, was to kind of innovate some ideas. So this female student said, you know, I kind of get tired of having different eye care products. And she always had gel pens. And she was looking at this gel pen, and I remember that she said, hey, this is pretty cool. You can actually see the gel on the inside. Well, then she got a good idea and said, well, what if I incorporated kind of like the mascara portion in the top, where this can screw on, screw off, and the bottom half of it is an eyeliner, and I would also incorporate the old charcoal pencil idea to it. So she showed this picture because a lot of students don't know what the charcoal pencil idea is. And I don't know what this technology is actually called, but with a charcoal pencil, it basically is wrapped in thin paper or wooden paper, and there's a string up through the middle of it. And when you want to expose more charcoal or sharpen it, you basically just pull that string up and it rips through some of this paper. Okay, and it exposes more of it. So she wanted to have that idea down here so she didn't also have to sharpen the pencil. Okay, another student, they didn't really give a full-on description. I would like for you to write like complete sentences. So this student, I remember specifically when they did this, they were absent on the day that I taught this lesson, so they kind of just did this with very little guidance. They kind of tried to do it on their own, and they turned in a good product. Just wish they had a better description over here. So I remember talking to them in their presentation, and the student said, their idea would be to simplify their paintbrushes. So they were an artistic student. They had a whole bunch of different paintbrushes. And she said that she kind of wanted just to have kind of a little small container that maybe she could keep one single brush or one single handle in. And the top of it would have some threads. And all of her brush, the different brushes that she would have, could thread on there and thread off there. So you could simply just twist this part off, sit it down in a holder, and then you can just twist this onto the next type of brush. So there's some good and bad about that, obviously, but there's good and bad about all innovations. This whole entire activity is just to be creative and just to get some practice sketching so that you can get your point across. Okay, so good luck.